Okay, to get started, you'll need the 3-pack 21-inch ruler sticks, and you'll have to, from the bottom, you'll have to measure out 8 inches, and because you'll need 3 pieces of the 8-inch cutaway from the, so you should be able to get 2 from this 1 pack. So that's a nice bargain, $1.98. Okay, so since the ruler sticks have been cut down to 8 inches, 3 pieces at 8 inches, you want to place them face up, ruler side up, and make sure next to each other. Make sure they are even across the bottom and across the top, and they are. And I choose to use the quart paint stick, and I'll simply cut it in half. And what you want to do with this is you want to place one close to the top and one close to the bottom. And you want to make sure they're even, and then you get your glue gun and you glue them down. With this step, I chose to use the nutmeg color because of the design that's on this sheet right here. And what I will do with this is I will go along the sides only, along the sides with that nutmeg color. What you want to do to the top is Mod Podge it. So you want to Mod Podge the entire front side and place your sheet. If it has a design, be careful how you place it, because once it's there, that's how the design will turn out to be. So since I have flowers on this edge, I want to go over the edge just a bit, just to make sure that I cover the edge or get as close to the edge as I can. And I will measure it on the bottom and smooth it to make sure that it's straight. What I will do, you can do it now and do it later. Cut the excess paper close to the edge, but don't try to worry about getting that straight right now. Right now, you just want to make it easier to work. Okay, so this has dried, and now what you want to do is you want to clean up the edges before we go to the next step. I'm gonna use this emery board, but if you have a piece of sandpaper, it does the same thing, but you just want to go down. Don't go up, go down. And just make sure there are no pieces, and it would make it blend better as well when you sand it along the sides. It makes it blend into the wood better. Just seal the top of it. And this time we want to go over the sides. So make sure that you cover the sides with the layer of Mod Podge, then layer on the sides. And okay, so the Mod Podge has fully dried and the sides are dry as well. So it's time for the next step. And I pulled these flowers off of this, so I'll put it aside and work with these. And if you'll notice on the back, there's a little thing right there. I want that cut off so that I could work with them being flat. So I'll cut that off. And if this is moving around, I get hot glue and go around underneath the leaves there just to make sure that it doesn't come apart since I've cut that off. so that it'll look like this. All right, so now, if you look at this, there are flowers along this left side here. So what I will probably do is cover the flowers that are there. Well, there's one right there as well. So that's my plan. So I'll start with, I like this color. So I'll start with the bottom and I'll just stick one right here. And then maybe one right there. The last thing that I will do to the front of this hanger is, I have these garland bead, they're actually called wood bead garland, and I will put some of these across the front, hanging across the front of this hanger here, and I probably will glue them. The back side, we could go ahead and paint the entire back side nutmeg brown to match the sides, or color from your print in the front can be chosen to paint the back side. So the back has dried and it's ready to be attached. So you just simply align it and you attach it with hot glue. All of them. Okay, so then you just align it and you stick it together. For the hanger, I will attach jute. I'll start at the bottom. I'll come across up to the top. I'll leave enough for it to hang in the top, and then I'll come back down and the two cords will meet at the corners right here. I took a piece of jute cord, I tied a knot, I cut it at the bottom of the knot, and I made two of those, and I glued one to each side. So that's how those appeared. So now, across the top, I do not plan to add any jute cord across the top. What I will do is I will turn to my old reliable chenille stem. I also will sometimes use, that's why the Q-tips are here, a Q-tip to dip in the paint, but this time I will rely on the chenille stem. And what I will do is I will dip it in the paint, because the chenille stem will go as far down in there as you'd like with paint, and it will paint for you. So, but the first thing I want to do is paint this with white chalk paint Waverly, and I will paint both sides, but it will only be one-sided. Adding Mod Podge. I want to add squares to this because the rulers, they are just under 1.5 inch. So there are 3 of those. So I want to make a line where the rulers are, and I want to make lines across. So right now I will measure squares throughout the white and all of the white. I'll be using the Waverly Elephant chalk paint to trace the lines, and I will not use a ruler on purpose to trace these lines. Because I didn't want them to be perfect. You can do this. It doesn't have to be anything fancy. It just looks handmade, which is what you want. I picked this up from the Dollar Tree, a little succulent. I don't want this. I want this. So, and I don't want the foam that's inside because it won't allow me to freely stick flowers in there. And what I will do is I will add my own floral foam. Just enough to stick in there. Now what I'll do is I'll add glue to the bottom. Just let it drip to the bottom and sides. And now I'll put it back in there again. All right. The flowers, guess where I purchased them? Dollar Tree. So I will snip away at some of the push the leaves up, snip away at a few of the flowers, and I will just add them to the little flower pot there. So I have all of them where I want them to be in place, and I will secure them with some hot glue where I've placed them, just for extra security. And I do plan to put just a tiny bit of Spanish moss while the glue is still hot. Now I'm gonna place it in what I call, look close enough to a window. And I will place it there. Add a piece of jute cord, and I've already measured it to see the size that I needed in order to go over where this will be hanging. So it's about like that. And on the back, it just hits just above the top stick. So I'll go ahead and I will glue this down. I can lay that on the front now. I'll go ahead and glue this down close to the edge. Very, very close to the edge. On each side. So now what I will do is finally, I will add the Fragrance Sachet that I picked up at Dollar Tree. They have so many different beautiful fragrances, but I chose Orchid, and it smells delightful. And it comes in a pouch like this. Oh, it smells so good. So, and what I will do is I will place it somewhere towards the top, just above where the stick is, closer to the top. And I will just simply tape it, because it has Mod Podge back here. So the tape will stick to it as long as there is no dust or anything like that. It will stick to it. But if you like, you can also hot glue it. And then when you're ready to switch out, you'll just have to pull it off or cut it off and put another one there. So that part is up to you. It's ready. It's ready to be hung and make your room smell delightful.